This is the NFL on EA Sports, and you get a look inside a hot and humid Everbank Stadium here in the city of Jacksonville. Today, it's an intra-division matchup in the AFC South, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gautin with Charles Davis, and before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams, and the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Here now is Cam Little out to get us started. And off we go from Jacksonville. Oh, look at the juke. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And there's no doubt about the talent that we see from C.J. Stroud. We've watched it develop in his first 2 years in the league. But the best way quarterbacks are graded is winning. He's out there trying to win his third division championship in as many years.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
At the 45-yard line, an 8-yard pickup. First down, Texans.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
They run again on first down, Chubb. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Foye Oluokun finding his way to the ball for a stop. A tackle for loss.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And Stroud now to throw. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. This is taken around the 12. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And we've seen the flashes throughout his 4 years in the league, but he's coming off an injury-riddled season. We only played 10 games. Has to eliminate the costly turnovers at 52 in 4 seasons, and he's hoping the new coach Liam Cohen can unlock his untapped potential, and it has to happen right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Now Lawrence to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here's Logan Cook now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Shifts by him. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
2nd and 7. Stroud looking to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 at a 1st down.
17 yards. And the Texans 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Emmanuel Ogbah finding his way to the ball for a big stop there behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Now it's the former Badger, Dare Ogunbowale. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
Gets past one man. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
No gain on the play. brings up
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap, and again the ETN. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Here's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. And again, it's Chubb. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Stroud. That's complete to his rookie 2nd-round pick. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
An 8-yard pickup. 1st down, Houston.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the 1st down.
Now Stroud. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 41-yard line.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 2. And Chubb will try the middle here. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
1st down, Texans.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Stroud to throw it. Quick slant caught by Kirk.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Chubb on the counter. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Haven't been a defensive coordinator yet, but think 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job holding to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on 1st down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Stroud keeps it. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
No gain. Quarterback sneak. No gain. Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will make it 6-0. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call. They're opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Lawrence will throw. Screenplay, here's ETN. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
I like the thinking there because right after a sack, it can be a great time to call for a screen to your running back and use the eagerness of the defense against him. Able to gain some positive yards out of this one and make things a little bit easier for him on 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 7. Brown goes in motion left. Now Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Here's Berrios. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Texans will take over. And now out comes Houston. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Stroud. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
They'll fake the jet sweep, and now Stroud to throw off play action. He's got it to Collins, complete. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Stroud. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 17-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
First down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
All around great play by Devin Lloyd, using his athleticism to get to the backfield and his strength to stop him for a loss. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Open man is Higgins. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
6-0 our score after 1. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn out for the field goal try for the Texans. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Now Lawrence. That's complete. It's Brian Thomas. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 31, here's 2nd down and 3. Lawrence. He'll get that underneath ETN. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that, second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Texans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Right now he's looking just to add to his totals. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Play action. Stroud now. Incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
The Texans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Stroud working out of the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And Stroud now to throw. Throw left side, complete. That's Pierce. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
On the pickup, it's 2nd and 8 at the 25-yard line.
A handoff here to Ogunbowale. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. The pass caught by his running back, Nick Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off. Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
The Jaguars getting set to go. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
At the 49-yard line.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Lawrence to throw. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Like it's been this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown.
Lawrence's pass complete to De'Ami Brown. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Lawrence on the sneak. And he is going to have a Jags first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Thomas has got it. Complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 4 brings up 2nd down at the Texans' 36-yard line.
A give running right, ETN. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So it's 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3. I'm not sure that that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all. But the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us? Let us go for it? We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Houston set to take over. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously, the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Stroud looking to throw. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Texans first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now a 2nd and 6. Stroud. He finds his target, it's Schultz. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
First down, Texans.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Not to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Touchdown, Texans! Dalton Schultz from 4 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was the tight end Dalton Schultz on the touchdown reception to cap the drive. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. From the gun, it's Lawrence. He completes it to Hunter. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run with ETN. And he will have a Jaguars first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
That's good for a Jacksonville.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Lawrence will throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
Jaguars. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to the ground with ETN. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It was Danielle Hunter to make the play in the backfield.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Here's Lawrence to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 21. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Here's Lawrence. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Going for it. Here's ETN. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. He needed less than a foot. He didn't get a whole lot more than that, but he did get the first down.
Well, he and his offensive line created enough push where if he was able to just fall forward as he was able to there, that would pick up the first down. As you noted, didn't need a whole lot, didn't get much more than that.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Johnny Mundt, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Point after here coming up.
For the extra point.
And it's up. This is good, and it makes it a 16-10 game now. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. A beautiful fake. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Texans offense had C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Stroud to throw it. Quick slant caught by Kirk. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Here's Stroud. And one more time, here's Kirk. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see. And he goes out right around the 39. Halftime coming up. Let's get you downstate an hour or two to Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
They go play action now. Lawrence. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Now Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. Got a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Handoff running left is ETN. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Lawrence on the sneak. And he is going to have a Jags first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Lawrence. And Thomas has it. So 8 yards on the completion there. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
An 8-yard gain brings up 2nd down at the 24-yard line.
Running out of the gun with ETN. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Lawrence eluding the pressure right. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Ah, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
ETN fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Hunter, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. And the lead is down to 2. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. All right, Scott, great work as always. We'll see what the second half brings here. These two defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads at intermission. These offenses, they have had their way so far. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Texans offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Throwing now is Stroud. Ogunbowale on the screen. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Trevor Lawrence, helmet on, ready to go as he brings out this offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
On 1st down, right back to ETN. A good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
That's to the left side, taken in by Hunter. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Now Lawrence to throw. Got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
16 yards.
It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage. Put the ball right on him.
ETN up the middle. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars have scored again in this third quarter, this time to move out in front. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
19.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 9. And Stroud now to throw. This one left side caught by Collins. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Brings up 3rd down.
Now Stroud. This pass complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Texans first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Play action. Here's Stroud. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that one's all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10. A shotgun snap to Stroud. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And they will take over 1st and 10. As the offense returns, let's take a look at running back Travis Etienne. He's had a good third quarter. He likes whatever adjustments were made at halftime, whether those were team adjustments or just him talking to himself.
And whatever that conversation was, it was pretty good because he is running really well here in the third quarter. But I like to think it is a team adjustment. Offensive line, those big escorts of his, they figured out how to block a little bit better, and he's found those holes to run through.
He has indeed.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Straight ahead, Etienne.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
62 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Jaguars, 1st down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
They go play action with Lawrence.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
A handoff for Etienne.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Thomas brings it in. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Brian Thomas,
34 yards.
and the Jaguars get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
A try here for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville.
All right, Scott, great work as always. We'll see what the second half brings here. These two defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads at intermission. These offenses, they have had their way so far.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A gain of 5. First down, Texans.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A handoff here to Ogunbowale. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
They go again with Ogunbowale. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Stroud looking to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll look to ETN to start things out. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Houston.
Stroud. He finds his target. It's Schultz. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd down at the Jaguars' 33-yard line.
to throw again. That's some good running from Stroud, and he gets them the first down.
A gain of 14. And the Texans first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Chubb running right. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Stroud to throw it. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Stroud. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
A 25-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd down.
Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Well, a clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
A shotgun snap and again the ETN. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 84 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That's good for another Jacksonville 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing, but in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Being chased out left. he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 14. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
For another Jaguars. First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. He ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense and their star running back, Nick Chubb, getting set to take over once more. And it's hard to believe you can run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it in every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And this throw incomplete. From the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stroud able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
First down.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Going out wide, finds Chubb. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 50-yard line.
2nd and 6. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got room. Down the left sideline. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, 49 yards. And the Texans have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
Texans 29.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Jags offense and Brian Thomas getting set to take over once more. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Jaguars, first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll try the left side with ETN. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And finally wrestled down at the 11. 138 yards rushing now on 23 carries so far.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. Here's Lawrence. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
And 8 yards to go.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw, Lawrence. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
And this one is right through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. That is Joshua Hines-Allen getting in there to bring him down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Stroud. Into space at the 45. Still going inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Texans have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
A big spot now for the Texans as they'll try for 2.
The Texans will line up for the 2-point conversion.
And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Well, this one setting up for a great finish, all tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he'll weave all the way up to just a few yards shy of midfield. A great return. Travis Etienne and the Jags offense set to take over again here. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's Etienne. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 9 yards. That's good for a Jaguars. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. Trotting! And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 36 yards on the play.
That's good for a Jaguars. first and goal at the 6-yard line.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
And they'll run with ETN. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Lawrence will throw. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. Brian Thomas with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Throwing quickly, this is caught by Kirk. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. They'll get it to the 23-yard line.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 23, here's 2nd and 2. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Throwing now is Stroud. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Operating from the gun, Stroud. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A heck like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down, makes it manageable now.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Nick Chubb, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here, and we're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for two, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag.
Foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On second down, ETN once more. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1. Throwing now, Lawrence. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now. Lawrence. Throw right side, pulled in by Hunter. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Back to throw. Lawrence. Over the middle, open is Thomas. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Here's a give to ETN. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Here's 1st down. And they'll go again with ETN. Oh, what a move. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Jaguars. First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's first and 10 now. Here's Lawrence. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game, and let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
The clock reading 40 seconds. Here's second and 10. Draw play, ETN. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And now a tough spot here. This is third and 10. Now Lawrence. Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick. Whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows a defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
So the Texans will have the first opportunity here in the overtime session as we are back underway. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now out comes Houston. Looking to put a drive together. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
First throw of overtime, Stroud. They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
First down, Houston.
They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, Keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's about it. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Stroud looking to throw. To the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, their defense, they did the important thing. They got the stop. They didn't allow a point, but now they're backed up here pretty far, Charles. Going to need a significant drive to try to get into position for the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, partner, don't you think that defense is on the sidelines right now saying, don't come to us with your problems about where you're starting? We did the important part. We kept them off the board, kept us in the ball game. Find a way to maneuver it downfield, at least get into field goal range, and get us a win.
Well, they run the option on 2nd down. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That's good for a Jacksonville 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
A nice run there. He calls his own number, gets the 1st down, and then slides to a stop before he has to take any contact.
And that absolutely has to please this coaching staff because you know they've been drilling into his head. You're no good to us on the sidelines if you're not playing, right? If you have to be over here full-time with us, that doesn't work so well. We need you on the field, so sliding like that, they'll take that every time.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. They'll run. This is Bashal Tootin. Gets around him. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Jaguars have won the game.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
Hey, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.